Late Night Cocktails. I'm your host, L.A. Wade. Now, ladies, bear with me. Every smart woman knows that the world is just overflowing with players. You know the guy, the one who smooth talks his way with his charm and strong, sexy demeanor. He's a typical ladies' man who leads you to believe one thing, when in actuality, he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too, right? He doesn't treat women with the respect they deserve, and boy, is he wrong. He's very sly and great with his words until he gets caught like a chump. He can spit a lot of game. Be careful so you don't get burned. He's a Casanova and a manipulative person. Does this sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Even if he says he's left his old ways in the past, you'd be better skeptical, because once a player, always a player. You know what you're doing out there, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, let's just be honest. We do it too, but we're talking about you right now. If your boyfriend is playing you, there are some serious red flags to look out for, because if you think you're getting played, chances are you are. Okay, so here are some signs. So he avoids talking about the future with you. I don't know about you guys, but I have always found when you're single looking for a relationship, these guys just kind of, they avoid it. They want to talk about everything else but, you know, the future. Conversations about long-term commitment is cut off. He'll avoid any and all questions that could mean he needs to dedicate himself in any real way to something permanent. A player is always chasing the next girl he sees in a skirt. If he's not talking about getting serious, he isn't serious about the relationship. He shows no interest in meeting your friends. If he doesn't feel the need to meet your support system, he clearly doesn't see a need of you being in his life very long. So when I think about just the tip, right? And this is where we like to get just the tip of the information. According to PhD psychotherapist Professor Tina Tesnia, and author of Dr. Romance's Guide to Finding Love Today, she says that games in terms of relationships are maneuvers people do to manipulate others, including dates and relationships. As an example, intentionally not being transparent or forthright with the person you're dating is an immature coping mechanism that people use to hide their feelings and avoid being vulnerable with people. Carrie, why would people do this? And tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again. I always love to be in this space. And my name is Carrie Goring, AKA Carrie Sutras. And what I do is I'm a trauma-informed intimacy and relationship coach. So this question is right up my alley.
Right.
And a lot of the times, I think what happens when we talk about being a player and, especially in the space of men being players.
It is a different game, which we'll talk about it a little bit after.
It is a different game.
We play differently.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how we do it.
We'll talk
but
about
definitely how men, I think it's really about, some of it is about how society has set up men to stand up, the idea of being the conqueror, the idea of, having the body count that makes them have to be proud.
Right.
I think when we look at that against also the idea of when they are in that space, there's an insecurity that shows up as well. I loved that quote that you gave from Dr. Tesna. And that, I think, speaks to the core of it. When we talk about being in relationships with somebody, that means you're really vulnerable.
Yes.
And for our men in particular, being vulnerable isn't always a comfortable space.
No.
So I think
right.
that's a fundamental reason why.
Okay, we'll tease it out a little bit more. But we're here also with the Niger Wives of Toronto. Let's get to know them a little bit better. We'll start with Abby, Black Barbie. What is the Niger Wives? I wonder why we call her Barbie. She looks perfect, that's why.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
And did you just have a baby?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on, man? I don't know what's going on in these streets. This is not how it happened for me, okay? I had to work damn hard. What? I shouldn't say that you didn't work hard, because you maybe do already work hard.
Yeah.
That's why you're able to stay that way.
Yeah, it's the discipline that you have to apply every day, right? So that's the work hard part.
Is that what a Niger wife is about? What is a Niger wife? What is Niger Wives?
So Niger Wives is a reality show that follows ladies from Toronto of Nigerian descendants, and it shows you our lives, how we deal with our friends, our families, and trying to do our careers, while raising, while trying to be, we're like stuck in the middle of being Nigerian and Canadian.
Yes.
So we're like trying to find ourselves in Canada while still trying to stick to our culture of Nigerian. So that's what Nigeria is all about.
I love it. Yeah, and I shouldn't act like I don't know because I had the honor of hosting their reunion special for season 2. Go check it out on YouTube. Million, how did you become one of the wives, and what's your essence that you bring to the show?
One of the ladies at the end, 2 other ladies, asked me if I wanted to be part of the show, and I'm like a reality show addict.
Oh, you are?
Oh yeah.
Man.
I'm the Atlanta Housewives, Miami, New York, and the rest of them. So
wait, is the Atlanta Housewives the one where the man was talking to one girl and then the best friend cheated?
Oh yeah, Portia.
And he was from Nigeria?
Oh yeah, he's
What kind of game is that? Oh my gosh, we're gonna get into that for sure. Can I tell you? Okay. So why did you want Emilian in particular to be a wife? What did you see? What qualities in her did you see?
The fact that she's outgoing and she's very dedicated and fun to be around.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are
Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Oh, okay, now you know.
There you go. Hello, pretty thing. What's going on over here? What's your name and why do you want to be a part of the franchise?
Oh, well, my name is Bekki. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
And I have a lot of stuff to share with people out there.
I believe you.
Especially, I'm sorry, Mom.
Your voice? Okay,
My
we
voice.
won't stress you. Don't think you're going to get away with it, though, because I've seen your Instagram, and there's a lot going on over there. Yeah, we'll have to dig into that. Is that where the games begin for you? Because you are doing some thirst traps that I've looked at. Are you trying to trap one?
Don't worry, don't be too much. Anyways, I'm going to give it to you. Don't worry.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's the first question for all of us. Because this is games night on Cocktales with LA.
Okay.
We are playing games and we're learning about games. So, if you've been played before, raise your hand. This is very sad. Let's talk about it. Okay. Carrie?
Yes.
What is going on with the playing of games?
Why
Why do we do it?
I think that it really is about us trying to navigate the spaces of being in relationships. And as you figure some things out, other things come front and center. And especially when we're trying to get our needs met.
I think so. I think it's a survival thing while we're playing games.
Absolutely. We all bring histories into our spaces of relationships and dating. And depending on what those histories have created for you, you may show up in ways that may not always be in the best light. Or you might come across somebody that triggers the way that you are feeling. And so you want to protect yourself. So the game playing starts. There's a myriad of reasons, but I think it really boils down to that key piece, which is vulnerability.
I was going to say avoidance, but I guess vulnerability.
Vulnerability and sometimes avoiding being vulnerable.
What about maturity? What about that?
And that plays in as well, Abby. I love that you mentioned that because I think that is a key piece. As you move in and play the games, the lessons you learn, right? The experience you gain is that maturity. And that's what opens you up for some of us, because some people are just going to be chronic and,
just trifling.
They just are that way. I can tell you some stories about that. I have a community man. I have a community man.
You have a community man?
I talk
about community man.
I have a community man.
They say they are for the streets.
So for the streets. So for the streets. I have an ex of mine, but he taught me so much about myself. But my community man is still. He's still a community man.
But when you say he taught you, right?
Yes.
Wasn't there a period of time where you wanted to be like petty about it and like get back at him? Because we always arrive at like, I learned so much from him. Meanwhile, there was a time where you were like, if anybody saw you for real, you'd be so embarrassed.
Trust me. Listen, I could tell you some stories, but let's just say I caught a case
Oh no.
trying to be with my community man.
Oh.
Nah.
So did I learn those lessons? And I can say I learned a lot about myself now, but absolutely,
stronger, right?
absolutely, I was blind, crippled, and crazy
Wow.
over that
I
moment.
can imagine.
So it's been a journey, and I think that's what it's about, the journey.
It is the journey. But before we go on the journey, because I feel like we're all on journeys.
Yes.
Obviously, we're all here living our life. We're on journeys. But the way that we handle our journeys is all very different.
Different, yeah.
I look at Abby's life. She has her beautiful husband. She has her family. She's a businesswoman.
Absolutely.
It's like you would never think of her as being plain. But as we break into Abby's Pandora's box, I learned something very interesting. Abby, what is in your Pandora's box? The pickup lines,
yes,
the
the
caravan. I was like, wait a
Yes,
second.
the pickup lines. So I was like, what? Yeah, the pickup lines.
So tell me, so you'd be on a Friday night, you said, down in Caravana.
it would be like just a bunch of people, mostly guys, you know,
Yes.
and then girls would be walking around in their heels and stuff.
Of course,
And
the thirst trap. That's how we manipulate. You know, did I mean for my shorts to show all of this leg? Like, what
But
are we doing?
when I used to dress like that. I still dress like that. when I get dressed to go out,
Yes.
I'm not dressing
For
to
them.
be. No, I'm not. I'm dressing for
you're
myself.
dressing for yourself.
Because you want to be the best dressed girl, or you want to be the best looking person there. Like, yeah. But yeah, I don't dress for guys. But when I go back in the day, when I used to go to Caravana on Fridays, Young Street used to be like popping.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Back then, but now it's like I don't know what happened. So
COVID.
guys would just be pulling you, even before COVID.
I know, it kind of died off.
Yeah, even before COVID. So guys would be pulling you left, right, center. Is your dad a boxer? Because you're a knockout.
That is the worst one I've heard. Is your dad a boxer?
Because you're a knockout.
What's the word? Do you remember any pickup lines? I'm trying to remember a pickup line. You know, there's the stupid ones about you must be an angel because of some stupidness. I don't even know.
If I was a letter, I'll put you beside I or something like that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
something along
God.
those lines. Those
Wow, you've
cheesy.
gotten some good ones. Oh my gosh. Have you ever had a pickup line? What's some pickup lines? Most times they're just right, like what you said, they're pulling on you. They're not
Yeah.
even speaking.
Yeah, pull.
They tug.
And then I'll give them my number, they'll call, and I'll be like, who are you again? Can you describe what you're wearing?
Oh my gosh, because you met so many men.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so many, yeah.
She's a walking thirst trap. She just attracts. They're just hanging off of her like a magnet. I don't get it. I don't have those kind of skills. But I'm gonna learn them as I watch season 3. You just wait and see.